So I told you I'm watching XLM here to kind of keep an eye on the way the market's going, but this is my entry into XRP, which is turning down today. Now XLM is doing a little bit different thing here, and for those of you with Platinum Pro that can kind of see, the Oracle is throwing calls like shotgun blast all over everything. I want to kind of define the way that I take this to be. Now, we have calls of 59.97% probability down to 0.77 if you remember from a recent video, and we have another one down here, 41.03 odds down to 0.68. I think that's still in the cards. We still have a wavy line down here, and then of course obviously this call here has not come to pass. Came close, but have not come to pass. Now, put a pin in that for a second, but we do have now, after we have a recent dive, which kind of shook the odds a little bit. I think basically what it is just kind of rejiggering a little bit. But off of this recent call, it seems to be kind of indicating or kind of feeling like we have 68.92% odds of a rebound off of this point. Don't take that as gospel. That's static. I don't want to get into the intricacies of how Anubis thinks and how the Oracle part of the AI works. But here's the more important thing that you have to know. You have to take all this into, once we pick a direction, then you start looking at your odds of your direction. Let's go back to fundamentals. If you look at the RSI here, we are in the dive, and the blue is diving. Let's go ahead and open that up. The blue is diving hard through the red, and you can pretty much infer what you can always infer from that. And of course, obviously, we're coming out of a pretty strong session into a little weaker session, and we are diving hard across the red, or starting to dive hard across the red. So that those two things taken upon themselves would indicate that we're still on the downturn. So I wouldn't get too excited about this as of yet. Future calls, yes. I think basically, as I've indicated to you before, when Anubis Oracle will throw something like this, it's talking several days out in the future. So these point tips are literally showing you a general forecast of the time frame that we're looking at. So we're looking at probably by the time we get about, let's call it 8 days down the road, we could, in all things being equal, we could 8 days from now be up in this general range, but we could before that be down here. Now, these arrows are showing, we're right within the realm of, see, we're already getting a drop, and these arrows were calling for this general vicinity. So here, probably in the next couple of days, we could see a pretty vicious waterfall coming out of this. And we already started to see this. We've seen this with a couple of different cryptos have already started to do this. Pretty much market wide, everything's kind of tracking and tracing right with this little drop. XRP's done it, Bitcoin's done it, they've all done it. But they all hit exactly right where I show you that they're going to. They're all hitting these target marks. So it hit my blue indicator just like dead on right to the pixel. So my gut feeling here is hold for the ride to the bottom, because I hold for the ride still to go. Still, the drop is still incoming. So I don't think that I'm ready to just jump on board with this yet. Put that aside, and don't be surprised if this changes a little bit, the statistical odds. As this goes lower, the odds of this will also go. So this is just basically a static footprint of what's happening. So right now I'm still banking on the low end of this, and pretty much for the market. And again, like I said, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's going to be a slow week.